Well, Jim, it's probably a good idea at this time to keep the listeners informed about what's going on with our upcoming schedule here on the Drive-Thru and the Experience. Oh, here on the Experience and the Drive-Thru.
That was all I was about to say. Well, that was a real slick transition. Botched it all up with the... Boy, the AEW Botches Twitter account is going to start tweeting botches of us if you keep it up.
Maybe AEW will take me down.
Well, yeah. See, they're trying, not only the fans, but the administrators of AEW are trying to take that at AEW Botches Twitter account down. I think we should all follow it in a show of solidarity against the man, against the establishment. But he's just pointing out that one of these chuckleheads is going to end up in an iron lung sooner or later, and they don't like that. Because he actually shows the clips in slow motion, too, so you can see how close they really came to killing themselves because they don't know what they're doing.
How dare you show the things that we show everyone? Like, it'd be one thing if he was exposing stuff that isn't out there, but they're short little clips just showing these botches, like you said, then slow motion. But AEW and their wrestlers seem to really have a problem with that account.
How dare you call attention to what we do on national television on a weekly basis? Anyway, speaking of which, we will talk about that in a minute. But, yes, a programming note. On this week's Drive-Thru, it's a doubleheader. Not only do we have the Ric Flair episode, the season finale, as it were, of the WWE Most Wanted Treasures on A&E, but also the big Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. We're going to talk about that on the Drive-Thru on Tuesday. Hell in a Cell and Ric Flair on Treasures. And how much hell are we going to go through? How many is this? They don't have every single goddamn match in a Hell in a Cell on this pay-per-view, do they?
No, and I think, quite frankly, I know the wrestlers will be in a cell. I think the hell is the viewers.
Yeah,
they are stuck in a personal hell having to watch this event.
Their own private level of Dante's Inferno.
I have the lineup if you wish to hear it.
Oh, go ahead.
Here's what you have to look forward to. Now, I will say there's a match you will not be seeing on Hell in a Cell. I'm not exactly sure what happened because I don't watch SmackDown, and I rarely read SmackDown news, but I paid a little bit of attention here. The Rey Mysterio Roman Reigns Hell in a Cell match was moved from the pay-per-view to Friday Night SmackDown. So it aired last night on SmackDown instead of on the pay-per-view tomorrow.
Oh, wait, well, so who is Roman Reigns wrestling on the pay-per-view?
It looks like he has now finished his obligations, and he has no longer has
Wait a minute, hold on, wait a minute. Wait. I'm thinking back to when I knew Vince McMahon, before the space pods fell to Earth and took over his earthly frame. You've got a pay-per-view on Sunday. And you've got a match advertised for the pay-per-view with your champion, with the single biggest name in your company, which currently is Roman Reigns for them in terms of their positioning. You take it off the pay-per-view and you put it on free TV 2 days beforehand with no advertising notice.
Well, according to what I'm reading here, maybe there was a little bit of notice. According to Wikipedia, which is a well-known bastion of truth, on the June 4th episode of SmackDown, the Usos challenged Rey and Dominic Mysterio for the SmackDown tag titles. It ended in a controversial finish in which the referee did not notice that Jimmy had his shoulder up during the pin. The Usos were granted a rematch later that same night. However, during the match, their cousin, Universal Champion Roman Reigns, interfered by attacking Rey and Dominic, not wanting the Usos to embarrass themselves again. Following that match, Reigns brutally attacked Rey's son Dominic, which Jimmy felt Reigns took too far, also furthering tensions between Reigns and Jimmy Uso. The following week, Rey confronted Reigns, challenged him to Hell in a Cell, wanting to take revenge on Reigns for what he did to Dominic, and a brawl ensued the next day on Talking Smack.
Oh, wait a minute. That happened, the challenge and the brawl happened on June 11th?
It would have been last week, I guess. Yeah.
Okay.
The next day on Talking Smack, Reigns' special counsel, Paul Heyman, accepted Rey's challenge on Reigns' behalf with the Universal Championship on the line. On June 17th, however, Ray posted to Twitter stating that he did not want to wait until Sunday, and it was announced that the match would instead take place on the June 18th episode of SmackDown, marking the first Hell in a Cell match to take place on SmackDown. Reigns defeated Ray to retain the title. So not only did they give away the match from the pay-per-view with the World Champion or the Universal Champion on SmackDown, but they also gave away the first ever free Hell in a Cell match with 1 day's notice on SmackDown.
The only possible reason that I can think of is if Rey Mysterio, they suddenly find out that his fucking passport or visa expires the next day and he's got to leave the country immediately. Otherwise, why would you do that? All right, I don't know. I remember all those times we had Austin and Rock booked in the main event of WrestleMania, but we put it on Raw the week before instead.
Do you want to hear the other matches that'll actually be on the show?
Sure, let's see what we're going to be taking a peek at.
Well, here are 3 singles matches not in a cell. Cesaro versus Seth Rollins.
Might not be bad.
I feel like we just saw that. Was that WrestleMania?
I think we did, but it still probably won't be bad.
Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn.
That should be pretty fucking good. Well,
I've seen that one too.
Well, but we've seen it, but still, let's not. They know how to work with each other. They won't let them set up their erector sets and the ladders and the chairs and the tables and things so they can have a good match. Let's see how much time they give them, but they should be pretty good.
I feel like this next one could be your bathroom break, although I really want you to watch it just because I know it'll be a shit show, and I know people will want to hear you go off on it, but it's probably best for your health you don't. Shayna Basler versus Alexa Bliss.
I'm starting to get to sour belches. I have a feeling I'm going to have a peptic ulcer or something by the time that one comes up, especially if there's any belching of black vomit and things.
We also have a Hell in a Cell for the SmackDown Women's Championship.
Oh, God damn it. The girls in a fucking cell.
There's nothing wrong with them in a cell, as long as they weren't put there by a man.
I was only if they were properly sentenced and there was witnesses and the proceedings were all legal, but otherwise I don't want to watch them fight in a fucking cage.
The champion, Bianca Belair versus Bayley.
I might actually watch that match if it wasn't in a cell.
Oh, come on, you have to watch that match.
Why are you going to put girls in a fucking cage match before the guys' cage match? To lower the expectations of a cage match?
For the record, we don't know that this is the order of the matches on the show. This is just the order of the matches as listed
Goddamn,
here.
if there's a men's Hell in a Cell match and it goes on before Bianca Belair and Bayley, then somebody's drunk.
We also have a singles match for the Women's Championship of Raw.
God, wait a minute. I thought it was just for the Women's Championship a minute ago.
SmackDown. SmackDown.
Oh, fuck.
Raw's more classy. They do it in the ring. The champion, Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair.
I will watch that. I'll watch that match and I'll watch it back again. I'll watch it 3 times. And thank God they're not in a cage where I can actually enjoy it. Because I don't want to even see those girls in a cage. When there's another cage match on top. That's like, let's go across the street and eat at Chili's so we can have a nice meal before we come back over here to Olive Garden and eat again.
Well, let's stay away from both of those trashy restaurants and let's go finally to our main event. Although
if I were you, I wouldn't be crowing about food.
Although Chili's 2-for-1 drinks. Can't go wrong with that.
And besides, I wouldn't go to Olive Garden. I'd go to Carrabba's anyway. But you know what I'm saying. It's the gist point of the thing.
I don't see you as a hospitaliano kind of guy, but let's go to the main event here.
Carrabba's, from what I remember, is fucking fantastic. I haven't been to a restaurant in a year and a half, so I don't know how they are these days, but I loved Carrabba's back in the days when we could actually go out and eat and feel comfortable about it.
Yeah, the last restaurant you mentioned was that chicken place that just closed. Everyone keeps sending me the link to.
The Price's Chicken Coop in Charlotte is closed. It's the end of an era. Hey, the chicken bones that were in the boxes of reels of film from when I saved the Mid-Atlantic films from the dumpster were from Price's Chicken Coop.
That's something.
Is that every Wednesday? We'd start promos at 9 o'clock in the morning. We'd finish about 3:30, long about 1 o'clock. Here'd come Klondike Bill with a giant cardboard moving box lined with a plastic garbage bag filled to the brim with chicken breasts from Price's Chicken Coop. And especially when the Road Warriors and Rick Rude and Flair and all the bodybuilders and the guys that took care of the Luger, Sting, they'd all give me their skin. So I got all the chicken skin.
Well, the main event, now that you got me all hungry, last chance Hell in a Cell for the WWE Championship. The champion, Bobby Lashley, with MVP versus Drew McIntyre.
Again. God almighty, Drew McIntyre must love humiliation and embarrassment because he's been beat flat, beat with no excuse, choked out, passed out, and he comes back for more. Does anybody really care at this point or believe that he's going to beat Bobby Lashley when he's just been beaten flat several times?
Well, it is a last chance match. I would think that to some fans that might telegraph it. That might telegraph that he will finally get the title back. Unless they're going to keep it on Lashley.
This is the last time we have to look at this fucking thing. Why would you beat Lashley now? I like Drew McIntyre when they were going to push him, but when he beat Brock Lesnar, that was a great way to start. And then they fucking taken the belt off of him, put it back on him, taking it off, beat him again. Blah, who cares?
Hey, let me ask you this. Who do you want the belt on? Lashley, which is interesting, or McIntyre, which you can certainly make a good story out of, although you could add a Lashley too. Who do you want the belt on if Lesnar returns?
Lashley.
That's what I was thinking too.
Lashley. Even
though there's a natural storyline there with McIntyre based on their WrestleMania match 2 years ago, Lashley Lesnar would be awesome.
He needs to beat McIntyre to get a shot at Lashley. That's exactly what he needs to do. Anyway, I can't wait to see Charlotte and Rhea Ripley. And I bet you that of the men's matches, either Cesaro and Rollins or Owens and Generico are going to be the best men's match.
Well, we shall see.
See what happens.
Hell in a Cell.